Let's move on to the game of the weekend, probably. Patriots-Bills. Wow. This is a big one. Josh Allen heads to Foxborough. Listen, Buffalo has dominated the division over the last 5 years, but maybe things have turned around. Mike Vrabel and company, they got a 2-game lead with 4 left, and Drake May, he knows what's at stake here.
Yeah, we are chasing them. They've had a bullseye on their back for, really since they probably took it over the first year. You want to be, division champs. Coach said it like at the beginning of the year. This is a great opportunity for us to go win a division and, rack up the AFC East. So we know it's going to be tough, and we got a great team coming in here, and it'd be cool to do it on our home turf.
Yeah, game of the week is Detroit and the Rams.
That's a good one. Yeah, I mean, this just. It feels like this is maybe the changing of the guard in the division.
I think absolutely. And again,
if you like the Patriots,
I'll ask the question. You own the Buffalo Bills. Year 1 of Mike Vrabel and Drake May together.
Yeah.
They beat the best quarterback in the league. Your place and their place. If New England wins, Sean McDermott, ownership has to look in the mirror on the GM and the coach. I don't think they're bad. I think they're capable. But the best football player in the world is your quarterback. You can't finish second in a quarterback league to young Drake May, who is now, he hasn't entered his prime yet.
Okay, so just let's pump the brakes. So that was a great win over Buffalo, undeniably. Buffalo, I believe, had 3 turnovers, like 12 penalties. They were a mess. Do you want me to rattle off some of the other quarterbacks that Vrabel has beaten this year?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
You ready? So they beat Tua, which doesn't
made
really
a Pro Bowl.
Come on. They beat Bryce Young.
Bryce Young's going to make the playoffs.
Oh, stop it. They beat, I don't even know if it was Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck. But bottom line, New Orleans, Cam Ward, whoever was, I think Dylan Gabriel, Michael Penix, or the back. Bottom line, they didn't beat anybody outside of Josh Allen. No good wins. 0, Colin. And they did lose to Geno Smith at the season opener. I'm just saying, we talked yesterday, 32nd ranked schedule. They have played nobody.
All right.
You want to go head to head on this one for like a case of, can we mention alcohol?
Okay, let's talk about this. I always love when athletes say like kind of generic things like Drake May said, where he's like, yeah, we're chasing them and, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, man. See, Drake understands what's at stake here. And it's like, well, yeah, I should hope so. Right? He's the quarterback of the Patriots. He's a very smart person, right? He's got his act together. Like, he's not like, oh wait, what? This is a big game. I didn't know. Excuse me. I gotta go prepare for the game now. Like they all know what's up. But yeah, I mean the Patriots beat the Bills here. Listen, I think Sean McDermott and company deserve to be on the hot seat, for a while now. And so if the Patriots leapfrog the Bills and say we won the division, we're more of the front runners in the playoffs, Super Bowl, we have better odds, et cetera, then next year we're the front runners to win the division and all that. It's just like the Bills have massive serious issues, and I already have a whole video discussing that a lot more deeply, but I want to focus more on Drake May and the Buffalo and the New England Patriots, and they have one real win or whatever. Now, a lot of people struggle with that type of conversation, and I do get it, because on one side, it minimizes the regular season, and it minimizes a lot of games. But then you have the other extreme where people are very much like, no, it doesn't matter. You can only play who's on your schedule, and it's still an NFL team, it's still a tough team or whatever, yada yada yada, and it's really somewhere in the middle. You really can't just go by record. It is a legitimate argument to look at some of the games and be like, who have the Patriots beat? Who have the Seahawks beat, right? Like, and you can do it for a lot, for lots of teams. And some games, some teams have better wins than others. And so it's interesting though, because you really do kind of have to try your best to stick to landing, and you really do have to watch those games. And that's what made the New England Patriots such an interesting watch this season. Because you're trying to figure out who Drake May is and this new coaching staff and who this new Patriots team is, that you're really going to be locked into some of these other games. A lot of times when, say, an established team like the Bills, the Broncos, whatever it is, maybe not the Broncos because they're also in the position of trying to establish who they are, the Bill back when the Ravens were something, but like the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Eagles, the Rams, it's like they go play a bad team, they go play the Titans. I'm watching the game, I'm taking my notes, but in the back of my mind, like I'm not elevating the moments as aggressively because I'm like, okay, great. Stafford threw for 4 touchdowns. He was throwing wide open receivers all day. You threw a 4-yard pass and then turned into a 70-yard run. Like this team is awful, right? Like you had no pressure. You were pressured 6 times in the game, right? Like, and it just becomes kind of like nothing to me. But there's still some gems that you kind of have to look for. But to me, it's very dependent upon how good are you playing at the time. What type of momentum do you need, et cetera, et cetera. And considering where the Patriots are at with Drake May's career coach staff, et cetera, they did hit the reset button. And so all of these games really did matter. And when they played these teams, when they had these games, they were executing at an incredibly high level. And it wasn't just built upon, well, our players are just bigger, faster, stronger than you, right? Like we're just able to take advantage of it because like you're just bad and we just have a good enough team where it's kind of like whatever. And so I still really appreciate the quality of play against those teams that we would say classically are not the most impressive wins. But I still am impressed with the quality of play in a different way than I would be like Stafford and Pukanaku and Devontae picking apart like a Titans team or something, because I'm just like, yeah, like that makes sense. And there's really nothing to learn there. Or when the Chiefs took down the Commanders, I'm like, yeah, like that makes sense. There's just nothing to learn there. The Eagles right now are struggling. They play the Commanders and pick them apart, and I'll celebrate it. And people are like, why are you celebrating that and not? And it's like, well, because the Eagles are losing. They're struggling. They can't get things going right now. I'm not going to use that game as evidence, as proof the Eagles are back and that they're dominant, because that wouldn't be fair either. But you could still be like, this was an important, bar to reach. And from my viewpoint, the Patriots have kind of had that throughout the whole course of the season, where you're like, and where they've needed to do that, and they've succeeded seemingly every single time. And I'm pretty sure that Raiders game, what was it, like the first or second game of the season or something? It was very early on. I forget exactly. And at that time, I'm trying to figure out who are the Raiders, because I remember watching that game and being like, I think, threw some interceptions. And it was just like, yeah, okay, Raiders list looking pretty good. And honestly, going to that, you'd be like, yeah, but it's against the Patriots and Drake May in year 2, and I don't know how good they're like, and you just don't know anything at that point of the season. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't think we have to overthink it too much, because it is also funny, because you'll have teams that have bad losses but some good wins. And what is more important, having good wins or avoiding bad losses? The Patriots have avoided bad losses. I don't count the Raiders game. I don't count that. And they lost to the Steelers, and it's like, yeah, they're a competent enough team. They're not this bottom of the barrel, like no one should lose to them. That's not the story, especially when you're dealing with a young quarterback. And so you can point to like a bad loss from the Rams, bad loss from the Bills, bad losses from the Eagles, bad losses from the Seahawks, and down we can go. And I'd say that the Patriots don't really actually have that. Now, do some of those teams have better wins, higher quality wins? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. And the Bills win is going to be interesting, because it is Josh Allen, it is the Buffalo Bills, but the Bills have some really bad losses. And so you're just like, who are the Bills right now? And that's what's fun about being able to play them twice. And now you get to have this game here, and it's just like, if the Bills win this game and they win this game convincingly, like I always try to figure out, like, what would any of this mean? If the Patriots win this game convincingly, what does it mean? If they eke out a win, last-minute field goal, what does that mean? If the Bills control the game the whole time and win, or they eke out a win, it's just like, what do all the variations mean right now? And that's what I'm just kind of excited to see how it all unfolds. The quality of play, Drake May's continue elevation, because again, we could all say the defense is not good for the Buffalo Bills right now, right? And the offense is too Josh Allen reliant, right? Like two things that the Patriots are more than equipped to take advantage of that. Maybe say the Bucks aren't, or the Chiefs aren't, or any of their other, what was considered great wins from them, the Bengals, etc. So I don't think we have to bury the Chiefs because we're like, oh, they had one of the easiest schedules, etc., etc. Therefore, and it's just like, all right, but like, who are you so confident that is better than them? The Bills, the Broncos, the Chargers, the Jags. Like, I don't know. Who have the Jags beaten, right? Like, I don't know. I think this season especially, it just feels like a lot of teams are kind of just like, who have you beaten? And I think it's fair, but you have to kind of be appropriate with how you kind of want to unpack it all. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the New England Patriots and the fact that they've beaten no one except for, I guess, one team, Josh and the Buffalo Bills, and now they get to play that very team? Who you got in this game? What would a win mean for the Patriots? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment. So, you agree with me or disagree with me? Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.